Yeah. Hey, hey, welcome everybody to the Counterpoise podcast show today. You know, we have a pretty good show coming up. And we've got to get ready before we get ready to introduce today's topic. We're going to have some of my other co hosts introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, I'm one of your co-hosts, Samantha Adams.
Hi everybody, my name is Malik Foster. I'm a co-host for the Counterpoise podcast.
And before we get ready to introduce today's topic, we definitely wanted to go ahead and recognize our Black Business of the Week and encourage you guys to check them out.
Yeah, but I got that for you guys today. One moment.
So as Malik pulls that up, I just want to encourage everybody to again like, follow, subscribe. You know, give this video a thumbs up when you see it. Let us know, leave any comment, letting us know anything that you want us to talk about, anything that you guys like that we talked about in the past, and we'll be sure to get back with you guys on that.
Okay, here it is. This is the law office of Jamba Kohli, and she is a practicing business attorney out here based out in Atlanta, Georgia. She practices business law, intellectual property, so she can help you out with your contracts, starting up a business, negotiating your contract, leases, a little bit of employment law, so employment handbook, stuff like that. Here are some of the services she offers. So you can book a consultation here, and you can get all of your legal services, business legal services from her. So I do want to discuss the topic too with you guys today. We have a very interesting one. The title of our show is My World, and we're getting into some of this the media's portrayal of Black people and gender roles. So that's what we'll be discussing today. I believe we have a video clip we want to share with you guys. So let's get that going.
Who's waiting for Prince to come save her? Really? Who has time for that? She ordered herself a lad with prime one-day delivery, and he was out of there. Her hairdresser is killing it. And the prince? Well, who cares? Probably changes everything.
Okay. So what we just saw was a video from Amazon Prime, and it, as you guys seen, displayed a young lady which was advertising the Amazon's expedited services of one-day shipping, and you could place an order online and how things could be delivered next day, and how that helped her build her empire, as well as how she used marketing and other things to become successful. It's the gist of what I saw coming up, or on the surface of what I saw, at least from this video. But you guys want to give a breakdown on what you saw or what we think, because I thought it was an important video. And this is one of the things that I brought to the group because I felt like it was an important video just to watch, be in lieu of everything that we have going on currently in the current state of America, looking at a lot of the different murders that just recently taken place in the last year or so. And then you also look at what's going on with the shift in the borders and, the Haitian crisis and things. You will look at the media to kind of see, when I look at media and I look to see when they're betraying people of color, especially Black people, I'm always look at it with a certain eye just to kind of see exactly what it is that is being said and what's being shown. And for me, I felt like it was a little bit more than just start your business and get on. And so I'll, see what the rest of my viewers wanted to talk about, excuse me, co-hosts would like to talk about on it. And I'll come back with some of my other opinions.
Okay. I'll go first. Just when I first watched the video, I was thinking a multitude of things. Like first, you see the black lady, right? They picked the Rapunzel theme, Disney. If anybody doesn't know about that, Rapunzel, she had long hair, and she was trapped in some castle, and some prince came in, to rescue her in that castle, right? Long story short, it's more details than that, but that's a brief synopsis of it. But in this case, I saw a young black woman, and she's like in that room, that castle, right? That same setting as in Rapunzel, and there was a ladder there, and they're like, well, you don't need that. Like it's like you don't need a man to come save you. You can come save yourself, and it's promoting that independence. You don't need a man, type of theme, because that's what happened in Rapunzel, right? So, so I'm speaking about it from a standpoint of a man-woman relationship, not other types of relationships, right? So when it comes to the man-woman relationship, right, from a romantic standpoint and other standpoints as well. And I thought it was very interesting how they definitely target the black woman in that. They target the independence, don't need a man, even though statistics that we went over and data that we went over in a previous show. If you want to check out our YouTube, one of our previous shows we did, the name is escaping me, but if you just look at YouTube, you'll find it. But previous show we did, we looked at the black demographics, and the demographics clearly shows that when you're together with a partner, or in this case a man, right, a woman's income dramatically increases. Her average income increases from like 30 something thousand, her net worth 35,000, around there, 36, to like 80, 81,000 average. So that's a big jump when you actually work together as a unit. So I think them promoting the independence, hitting that hard, is not a good look for black women. But then again, it's Amazon, right? They're just trying to make a sale. So this will kind of encourage them to shop, right, blindly, like, hey, I'm independent, I want to be free, I want to have fun, do this and that, and it'll encourage them to purchase. So it's definitely a good marketing tactic.
I got my oil, I got my my lotion or something like that. I may can get it, post it, as we know, a lot of stuff, drop shipping or third party selling, that a lot of times that we see a lot of people are able to do. So you can promote your business on Amazon.com or something like that. You can put your own service there, and so instead of it being the here in this situation, you can see it being whatever service it is that you may be able to provide. But so
Right.
and I also wanted to add in too, just to Malik's standpoint, and to this, my whole purpose of this shirt. And I'm saying, I know you got to get ready to go on as far as speaking, but my thing is the village, and what Malik said too, as far as everyone coming together, how the income increases for a woman. And also I wanted to add that it increases for a man as well. So if a man is able to kind of get with a good woman, and a woman who is able to support and build that family, not necessarily support, pardon me, but help to make a family structure out of this, what they have, their relationship, then I think that it also helps, because it can either allow that man to be able to go build and do more, or it either brings resources to allow that family to also build on with the things that either the man provides or what she may be able to provide, and the man can also help with managing or assisting with as well, helping her so that she can continue to do what she needs to do in order to thrive, if that's the case and that's their situation. So I agree. I think people being together, and especially Black people being together in particular, due to like our financial struggle in this country, is vital. And I think that's kind of like one of the reasons why I took the message and said, well, you don't need this prince, thing. And then all of a sudden, when it was Rapunzel, she got the prince, you know what I'm saying, and and it was an understanding of, you can now when it's whoever that young lady name was that was on that video, you know, oh, you don't need the prints, just go ahead and get your own, you know, and again, go get to your bag, but you know, I don't think that it needs to be why did it show face, you know, and no happiness, no family, no village. No, I'm not going.
So I disagree. I disagree in a lot of different ways. I mean, I agree in some ways and I disagree in some other ways. I agree that, you know, there's nothing wrong with promoting family, unity, and village, especially in the Black community, because, you know, we need that. We need that promotion, right? I do agree that there is a storyline, not necessarily in this commercial, but just in general, there's a storyline out there that Black women don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no man. All that absolutely does exist. But I think that the issue is that women should also feel empowered to be independent and not feel the need to have to wait on somebody to come save them. I think that having a family is also a choice, right? I don't think that everybody's required to have one. So, you know, in watching that commercial, I didn't see what they saw. I saw a woman who was sitting around waiting for somebody to come save her. And she decided, why am I going to sit around here wasting my life waiting for somebody to come save me when I can honestly just buy a ladder and go save myself? And I felt that the commercial itself was quite empowering because number one, I'm not going to sit up here in this tower waiting for God knows how long for someone to save me. And it has to be a man because I'm a damsel in distress. And it's like, no, you know, women are a lot stronger than that. And when you're talking about gender roles, right? Just before we get into that of the Black woman versus, you know, the white woman, just women versus men in general. When you're talking about gender roles, you know, women are often viewed historically as being weak, as being just unable to do things on their own, and that they need a man to do things for them. And I think that this commercial goes to that, saying, no, you don't. If you want to do something, you better get out and go get it. As it relates to her being Black, the only thing that bothered me about that commercial as it relates to her being Black is that she had a typical Black business. And it's not to say that it's bad to have a hair store or a hairdresser. I think, you know, it's beautiful when you're a business owner, period, to just be able to get out there and go do what you got to do to make your money and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Especially too, if you have a heart for it, you have a desire for it, it's your passion. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But, you know, if you're on Instagram, you get certain types of advertisements. You get people always trying to get you to do investment with them, and you get people trying to sell you hair products, right? I mean, at least that's what I get as a Black woman. Those are the two things I get. I'm a Black woman, I'm a lawyer. I don't know how the algorithm works with Instagram and how I'm pretty sure they pick up on the things that I say as far as in the things that I type, that I'm a lawyer. So they probably assume, you know, she does investments and things like that. We talked about investing and things of that nature. I'm a woman. I'm Black, so, you know, I'm always getting hair things. I'm always like, who are these people and how did they find me, right? So, you know, that was the only thing that bothered me. Like, why couldn't she be doing something else? Why did it have to be that she had a hair shop and she's selling her hair? I mean, I get the fact that she's Rapunzel and has, you know, long hair. She chopped it off and was selling it. All right, cool. But dude, there's a different way you could have went about doing that. You know what I'm saying? That was the only thing that really that bothered me the most as far as the messaging in that clip. But I believe that it's more about empowering women to not be so independent that they don't need a man. Because, you know, I don't think it's a matter of whether or not a woman needs a man. I think it's a matter of people need people, right? Because we're all walking around here together and we all need each other.
I agree with that. I was gonna jump in there and say, like, I think that was one of the points that I wanted to bring in there was that somehow, some way, because of again the representation that you need. If you're gonna speak on black black issues, or you want to speak towards the black community, you're gonna promote towards that. I would like these type of messages being, what I'm saying, promoted personally as a consumer, as a viewer, however, and so that's how I look at it. 1 second. With me, guys.
Yeah. Let me jump in real quick. I understand what you're saying, E, but the thing is, you don't see a lot of female empowering commercials. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you see these commercials, you see families, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're talking about Black families, it's not, well, more often than not, doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but more often than not, you see biracial families. You don't see like whole Black families. And you notice that started happening when President Obama was president, because he's a biracial man.
I think, Sam, that goes to the media's agenda. Some of the stuff we're talking about right now, what their agenda is with number one, making a profit, and number two, maybe another ulterior motive of possibly not doing things in the best interest of Black people, right? In terms of like their family and togetherness. Like, let's promote, isolate the Black woman, because that's a playbook that has been played for hundreds of years at this point. Like, we isolate, target the Black woman, separate her from the Black man from all phases, all areas of activity as much as possible, so we can still, have Black people oppressed, right? That could be a possible ulterior motive. I know some people will say that's conspiracy theory, but I don't think so, honestly.
But my question is this: when have you seen a commercial where Black women are being empowered like that? Like, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but can you name another commercial?
I mean, see, that's the thing.
That's why we're saying, like, now that this is your time, like, now that this is your time, like, this is what we, like, this is the image that's going to be shown. And from a mainstream, perspective. But it'd be different if we felt like, one, that we're able to create the narratives that we're being able to show in response to the imaging that we show. And that's one of the reasons why we do this show, so that we can have these type of conversations and create those type of narratives for anyone in our viewers who do get a chance to check it out. But I also feel like it goes towards what Malik was just saying too, momentarily, is no one, as far as the guys that I know, no one has a problem with the woman getting to their money and getting to their bag. And I do agree that it's great to see it in mainstream society being shown on TV, but I don't want to see it at the cost of the thought of you having a man. And that's the biggest thing, because
wait. I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. You don't want to see somebody being portrayed as go get your business instead of getting a man?
No, like, yes, it doesn't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive. Like, I'm saying, like, you don't have to make it seem like, oh, you can get to your bag, but don't wait on a man to get to some money. It's like, why can't I make my money and be happy? Why can't I?
Right, but it doesn't mean that you don't wait on, it doesn't mean you can't make money and get a man. It means you don't have to wait on one to get it.
But but the whole thing was premise was waiting on. She wasn't waiting on no prince, and she, like, the last couple of words was about no prince this, no prince that. So if you hearing that, it's like, and that's
what I'm saying. Like,
that can be counter to what I'm trying to do. That's resolving that prince.
I don't think that's what that was saying at all. I think that was saying that, I believe, as a Black woman, that commercial was saying, listen, I'm gonna go get what I gotta get. I don't gotta wait on no man or nobody to go get it. You see what I'm saying? And
but
so
it doesn't.
But hold on, it doesn't mean that I'm against getting one, or I'm anti-village or anti-family or whatever, or I'm an independent woman and I don't need no man. But it's like, I don't need nobody to come get me to save me. I can just go save myself, go get to my bag. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. That's how I understood that commercial.
But I actually agree. I agree with you on the standpoint of that's what the media is trying to put inside of other Black women's heads, right? They're trying to make them think that, right? But there may be a different motive behind it. Like, number one, you get the profit of them purchasing your business. Number two, you keep, the Black man, black woman separate, because it's still media at the end of the day with these commercials. And Amazon's one of the biggest companies in the world. So they're going to do a good job and have a big reach in doing so, because they already have a lot of black customers already subscribed. So they're going to do a good job with that. So it's just, you got the women thinking, okay, independent, I don't need a man. And we all know that route, based off of the numbers, is not a model of success for black women. I don't know why. I don't know who preaches that. Like, oh, yeah, this is what will help black women be most successful, being independent, without a man. You don't need a man. That doesn't lead
wait
to
a minute. Stop. I have to stop you.
I mean, you can stop me, but
listen to me for a second. I have to stop you because I'm the only woman on this panel, right? And speaking to you from a woman, as a woman, not a black person, but as a woman, you have to understand that there are different ideologies that are placed on women versus black people. And the frustrating thing about being a black woman is a lot of times people try to say that you belong more in one category than you do in another, and you don't. You belong in both equally. You see what I'm saying? And with that being said, understand, it's not about saying, I don't need no man. It's, I don't need to wait on somebody to come save me, because number one, I'm not some hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm not some damsel in distress, right? It doesn't mean as a, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I don't need anybody to come save me. I need to be this independent woman, blah, 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 and I don't need nobody. It means that if I want it, I gotta go get it. I don't have to sit around and continue to wait.
I have to push back.
Hold on, because remember, the story of Rapunzel is she was trapped in a tower, literally waiting for somebody to come save her.
That was just somebody though. Let's also add that it wasn't just
okay. She was waiting for a man.
Hold on.
Rapunzel was sitting in a tower waiting for a man to come save her. That's what she was waiting for.
It was multiple types of men. Like it wasn't just any like it was regular guys tried.
The bottom line was
resources.
Doesn't matter. The bottom line was she was waiting for a man. That's the bottom line. Okay.
Correct. Now, but this is what I'm trying to argue though, or not even argue. But if the whole thing is get to your money, get to your bag, why does it have to be at the expense of not having a man?
It's not about not having a man. It's about not.
But that commercial was.
Listen, you're not hearing me. Hear me. Let me finish what I'm saying. It's not about not having a man. It's about not waiting for one. You see what I'm saying?
Why do he have to be in the conversation at all?
Because that's the storyline of Rapunzel. Hold on.
Get to your money.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. The story of Rapunzel is she was trapped in a tower waiting for a specific man to come and save her.
Okay, I get that.
Hold on, let me finish.
I know the story of Rapunzel, and I get the, I know the baseline of it. You don't have to go into that. We don't have to go into that.
Let me finish my sentence. This commercial is literally saying, you don't have to wait for a specific man to come save you from this tower.
I hear you saying that.
It doesn't mean
you don't need. Can you hear me now? Can you listen? Can you listen to me?
Finish my thought. I promise.
Because you keep telling me what the basis of Rapunzel is, and I'm like, you heard that. I heard you. I know it means don't wait for a man. You can go get it. I hear that. But what I'm saying to you is, how's this novel of a thought? Don't talk about the man at all. Just go get to your bag.
You can't, because that's not part of the storyline.
Why does it have to be like,
it's not part of the storyline.
You have to wait on a man. Like, that's my thing.
Hold on for a second. I got you. Hold on.
Let me finish my thought. You've been going. Let me go. Let me rock. And you can answer all of my stuff at once. So
I do have something to say on this point. I was just going to say I just have something to point on that Rapunzel point.
So you finish your thought, Malik. Tell me what you got to say, and then I have an article. Hold on for a second. Wait a second. I'm gonna let you finish your thought. Malik is gonna say what he has to say, and then I have an article I want to show y'all.
All right. Cool. Okay. All right. So what I'm saying to y'all is this: I believe that the message could have been a better message if it was stated, "Hey, go get to your money, go get to your bag." Period. End of discussion. But the moment you insert go get to your man, don't wait on no man, there is programming in that. And that is all I'm saying. You can take the argument of it was the show Rapunzel. I don't care. Who cares? It doesn't have to be a Rapunzel theme. But when you make it Rapunzel and you put a black person in that, I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, you thought about how this is something that needs to be marketed to this particular situation. And that's why I'm like, you didn't even have to say nothing about no prince. It could have been she did what she did. But the fact that you threw that in there leads me to believe that there's a little bit more we want you to go into. Because again, you could have heard it and seen it as, I'll just get to my money. But invertedly, it was almost a little bit, get to your money and don't wait on a man. So that can, now hold on, one last thing. That can lead into other ways of life by being, okay, maybe, and we talked about this again just on Wednesday. If you have an opportunity and you have a relationship, and maybe that opportunity may cause friction in your relationship, do you still take the opportunity, or do you cost the relationship? Instead of it being a conversation of, hey, what's best for us? How can we work this together to make sure that you can get what you need to get and we get what we need as a family, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, it's going to be looked at, no, screw that. Let me get what I need to get. And if it fits in my life, great. If it don't, it don't. And that's what I'm saying is we cannot fall for that. We can't fall for it. Now, y'all more than welcome to talk about whatever y'all got.
Yeah, I was just going to make up the point of, okay, Rapunzel, right? She was waiting. I mean, she didn't save herself, right? So, okay, we got that out of the way, right? That's the story,
about in the original cartoon, right?
In the original story, right? So,
okay.
So that's that. But the point I really want to make is, okay, in a commercial, the woman's, okay, screw this, I'm tired of waiting, I can just magically be independent. Like, okay, and it's just like the commercial makes it seem like you don't really need to, wait, depend on anybody. You can just magically live this lavish, luxurious, or whatever lifestyle you want to live, right? But when you look at it, two incomes are better than one. The average Black woman makes under $40,000 a year, and once they get with a man or get a spouse, it almost triples. So the winning strategy is obviously not being independent, but these media companies and these commercials and all these other people are promoting a failed strategy. Like, I look at, for example, the gas prices are going up, housing prices are going up, everything's going up, and people's wages aren't accompanying that. So obviously, if you're by yourself, it's going to be more difficult to be independent. It's going to be a struggle. And why put yourself through that if you don't have to? And I don't think that's being promoted enough. It's just like, hey, live free, have fun. Be like, no, that's a struggle. That's not reality for most people, most women. That's not a reality. So I'm just going by the numbers and going by the averages and going by, okay, generally, what's the best strategy for a woman is not to be so independent, not to say, I don't need a man. Like the way things are going, a man and women are going to need each other, or you're going to need a spouse, or you're just going to have to figure out a way to make a lot of money and to take you to one life to the end of the life. I mean, that's your options. And most women are making all this money that, they want to claim, like, even though you have the most degrees, women are the most educated, as they say, they're not making the most money. So they can't come at it with that standpoint. They're at the bottom when it comes to that. So that's all I wanted to say.
So the thing is, I'm going to work backwards. Number one, and this goes to both of y'all's points. There's been programming, like he talked about, for centuries about women and their place in the world, what their roles are, the fact that they're weaker, the fact that they need to depend on somebody, right? The fact that they have to wait, the fact that they need to have a family, the fact that where's your man at? Where you getting married? If I go to the nail shop, okay? If I go to the nail shop, or if I go get my hair done, right, and go to the hairdresser, my stylist is gonna ask me, so you got a boyfriend? You got a man? When are you having a family? Are you having kids? But I don't ever hear about men going to the barbershop and their barber asking them every time that they go, do they got a girlfriend when they settling down and getting married? Every time they freaking go. I mean, I can't tell you how many times. Every time I go to the nail shop, I get asked that question. You have a boyfriend? Or if I go
Let
to
me
the
ask, are you going to the same person? Why she keep playing you like that? Why she keep playing you every time you walk in there?
I let you speak, okay?
I'm just asking. That's a simple question. I just want to know.
What's the question?
Is it the same person you going to? Why she keep asking you?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, she just keep playing you every week.
I can go
every so often. She, hey girl,
I can go to 5 different nail shops, have 5 different nail techs. They all gonna ask me if I got a man. Okay. I can go to 3 different hairdressers. At some point, the question about whether or not I got a man is gonna come up. So there's been a programming throughout history for a woman to need to depend on a man. You see what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, Malik, about finances and all of that. And I hear what you're saying, E, about, you know, giving the wrong storyline about whether or not you should encourage families, right? But the thing about it is, the story of Rapunzel is literally about her waiting for a man, right? So I found an article. I'm about to share my screen. And this article actually talks about the Disney princesses that that are more empowered, okay? And when it started, it didn't start with Sleeping Beauty. It didn't start with Snow White. It didn't even start with who can I think of off the top of my head? Cinderella. Think about it. Every single one of them girls, in order to thrive, they needed a man. You see what I'm saying? They needed a man to come save them. Every single one. Rapunzel, they all needed a man to come save them. Okay, so this thing goes backwards. Starts at the top. So, but I'm gonna start at the bottom.
They say Jasmine was the first one.
Jasmine is not the first one. Well, number 1 is Moana. It's in rank of what they did. Moana was number 1 on here. It talks about the storyline. The sickness is taking over the island, driven fish away, ruined the source of food. And typically in those kind of storylines, you see men going out to go save everything. But in this story, you have a girl who goes out and saves everything. Why? Because she friggin' can, right? It's not because she's some little weak little damsel. Oh no, all the women and children stay home. Oh no, you can't do that. You see what I'm saying? And that's the storyline about Moana. Why does this commercial keep coming up? I do not know. Then you have Frozen, right? Thing about Frozen is you have 2 young girls. One of them has, I guess, a condition. I don't know how else, power is probably a better word, you know, where she can freeze everything and she can use it for harm or she can use it for good. You see what I'm saying? But in this storyline, they're stuck in a perpetual winter because the sister loses control of her magical powers, right? And then here, the male lead becomes the love interest of one of the girls. Why? But the thing of it is they decide to work it out together. The sisters do. Not the man helps her, so it doesn't give off the storyline that men are not necessary or not needed, right? Or that you can't have a love interest. But it's more so about the fact that, you know, you as a female can make things happen. You see what I'm saying? Things can go wrong and you can fix them. You don't need a man to fix them. I really want this commercial little ad to stop popping up. You got Pocahontas, okay? Pocahontas is another one. Pocahontas is kind of like the movie Avatar to me. You see what I'm saying? Because the true story of Pocahontas was different from the cartoon, from the Disney cartoon. So this one, you have the daughter. She tries to find her a place in her tribe. She meets and falls in love with a colonizer, it says English settler, a colonizer, teaching him about acceptance. But meanwhile, in real life, they was really trying to tear down these Native American tribes, right? They fall in love and all that. But the thing is, she is the go-between, right? She's pretty much the plug that tries to make everything right. And so that's the story of Pocahontas, the Disney version, okay? Then the next one, I really wanted that did not be on here, Moana. The story of Moana is kind of like Joan of Arc, right? Where women are not allowed to participate in in fighting in the army. And she really wants to do that. So she hides herself as she disguises herself as a man and goes out and does great things. You see what I'm saying? And she becomes one of the best fighters that are out there. Does she fall in love? Yes, she does. But at the same time, it empowers her to be great at whatever it is that she does, right? The next one is Brave. Brave is a story about a little girl who she's a warrior. But her family doesn't want her to be a warrior. She's a tomboy. She's rebellious. She's got messy hair. There are no romantic leads because she's a child, right? But the thing about it is, she works really hard and continues to be strong. And that's the thing about the story. It's a storyline where she's not some victim. She's out there not allowing society to put her in a box, because that's what society often does with women. They put us in a box. They tell us, oh, this is your role. This is your lane. Stay in it. Tangled. Tangled is the story of Rapunzel, pretty much, right? But it's different. They changed it. She's trapped in a tower because she was kidnapped, right? And this man doesn't come to save her. He helps her escape, right? So it's like, it's not that she's waiting on somebody to come help her. It's that she escapes and he helps her and they fall in love. That's a totally different storyline from the original story of Rapunzel. The reason why I say it's Rapunzel 2010 version is because same thing, long hair, split in a tower, needs help, needs to be saved. And then you have Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast, where Belle is a bookworm and all that. Her dad finds himself trapped in the Beast castle, and she goes out and saves her dad. She sacrifices her own freedom for her dad. She ends up falling in love with the Beast. And the Beast actually is the quote unquote damsel in distress, and she saves him as well. There's a couple more. You have Jasmine from Aladdin. Jasmine is a princess. And the thing about this particular princess, she is supposed to be betrothed to marry some other prince, and she doesn't like any of them. She's completely uninterested. She falls in love with Aladdin, who doesn't have any money, but he has the genie, and the genie.
Fairy tale. Fairy tale.
All of these are fairy tales, including Rapunzel, but these are the women that have empowered themselves in these fairy tales. You see what I'm saying? These are the different storylines that you see with women today, right? But the thing is, the original story of Rapunzel, not Tangled, but Rapunzel, is she's sitting around and she's waiting. Whereas these women, all of these women go out and go get it. It doesn't mean that a man could be a part of the story. A man could not be a part of the story. Doesn't mean that they have to be. It means that she doesn't have to sit around and wait. She doesn't need to be placed into a box. She does what it is that she needs to do for her. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Shout out to Grazia. That's the magazine, the article that I found with regards to, today's topic. But, I just wanted to say, it doesn't require, a man is not required. And when they say at the end of that commercial, what man? It's not to say that a man doesn't matter. It means that he's not a requirement for success. It means that if I'm going to succeed as a woman, I'm going to get up, get out, and go get it. I don't have to sit around and wait on anybody in order to be able to do it. And that's the reason why I disagree with what you were saying, E, to an extent, and what you were saying, Malik, to an extent, because I feel like it's not about
Hey, but look, I feel like to that point though.
Let me finish my sentence. I don't believe that it's about programming women to feel as though they need to be independent and completely free from a man and all of that other stuff, although women should have the choice, right? Because if you have a commercial where it's a man going out and going to get it and all that other kind of stuff, it's easier to just be like, well, you don't have to mention a woman in that commercial because there hasn't been programming for men in propaganda TV and the media to say that he needs a woman. You see what I'm saying? So, but you have had that throughout society and history for women. Go ahead.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna just jump in here and say again, I disagree as well. I think, for men, it's just as much needed and it has to be required that you have a family in order to succeed. They look for CEOs to be people who are family, to have structure and things of that nature. So they're looking at them to see if they have like a family structure most of the times. So those are the people that you do see move up. You're not normally seeing, individuals that are, single, unless they're like founders of their companies and things of that nature. But if playing that corporate game, you need to have a family like type of situation. That's exactly what people are looking for. So I would say that no, it's pressure on both individuals to have that. And while it might not be so much, a casual conversation within, a barber or whoever, your stylist is, that you go to, I still think that it's there on both sides of society. I also feel like, again, you don't have to say it, because like I feel like you don't say, oh, listen, I was able to get up and get it without my mama, or I was able to go get it without my daddy. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like, why you gotta shout the man out? You know what I mean? Like, that's my whole thing. Just get up and get it. Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like for guys that's complaining about, well, women didn't do this, do that, or well, my girl should do this. They're like, no, just make it happen. And that goes for any and everybody, because that's what you have to do. And that's why I feel like, hey, well, now that I'm finally seeing a picture of a woman, you know what I'm saying, a black woman on society, and she's doing her thing and she getting to it. But I feel like with the thought process of it all is, oh, without yours, like, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's not even to say that the man even has to, like I said, I wouldn't have tripped about this if it didn't even mention a man. I'd have been cool. Like, it would have been like, all right, whatever, like everything was cool. But it did. And the way it did was in a negative tone. And that's why I was like, don't let shit like that rock, because it's like, yeah, it's something small, but again, just those little things are going to the arguments of like little stuff that we were just talking about a few seconds ago, or like we talked about the other day, where if it's in the relationship and it presents itself, that could be one of the things where I'm feeling like, you know what, I'm not gonna let you hold me back from getting to mine. You know what I'm saying? And again, it might not be a hold back. It might just be a time for where we might have to wait before we can truly get everything that we want to get, if we just stay together and work together and work the plan. And so that's why I kind of feel like I do that. I think that it is a little bit of like an agenda, and again, that's because I think they understand that that's the voices and that's the things that their target audience wants to hear. So I'm not mad at them for doing that. Again, you know what I mean? They wasn't marketing that commercial for me, but I think that it's indicative of our women to be able to understand certain things, so that it can make for easier ways for people to have conversations, and understand things that may go on in society that may contribute to the current state in which we have within, dating and all of the other stuff, and not including economics. Like I said, we're just talking about making it happen, because again, I applaud any woman who goes out in society and makes something happen, and is not waiting on anyone, or any person that does that in general. That's the way that you have to do. If you wait on anybody, you're gonna be waiting.
Let me ask you guys a question. A couple questions. Do you all believe, just, you don't have to like explain, just simply answer it. Do you believe that a man has to wait for a woman to be successful?
Well, as a lawyer, I'm going to say it depends on the situation, right? But generally speaking, you do need a woman, or you need a partner, especially the way life is today.
Do you think they need it? Do you think they need a woman to be successful, though?
No, I'm gonna answer the question. No, I don't think anyone needs another individual to be successful. But the way I look at success, I believe.
Hold on, wait a second. Before you get into all that, because I don't want it to take a different turn for where I'm going.
But I don't want to be too lawyery, because I don't want to say
it's not being too lawyery.
Because I think it depends on what your view of success is.
Hold on. I'm going somewhere with it. You okay? Just in general, like, I'm not trying to make it some.
Yeah, right. But in general, I don't think you need another person in order to do anything.
Okay. And we all agree that for centuries there's been programming that women need men. You don't believe that? See, and I think
because some of the situation was women actually needed men in order to have a house, in order to have certain things.
Hold on, wait. Okay, good point. Because why? Society has created it the way society, the structure of society has been historically, has been made so that a woman has to depend on a man.
I disagree with the word program, though. That's all I want to say.
No, it's absolutely programmed, because just like when you're talking about how Black people are portrayed, you got to look at how women are portrayed too, right? Because women also didn't have a right to vote. They had to fight for their right to vote. Women didn't have rights. Women were also considered property at some point. Now, they weren't treated like cows and horses and stuff and sent out in the fields to go work, but they were treated as property, right?
That's the reason why I say it's not programmed, because they didn't really have an option. Like, they didn't even have an option to be a feminist.
Black people, though, when Black people were brought
no woman back then had an option to be a
brought to this country.
That's why I said I'm against the word program.
Brought to this country, we didn't have an option either, though. So
that's why, yeah, exactly. They weren't programmed to come to the U.S. That's what I'm trying to point out.
No, but here's the thing. Think of it like this, okay? For centuries, you have women in many different cultures, not just, European culture, but in different African cultures, in Asian cultures, women have always been viewed as an inferior person, right? They're weaker, they're not as smart, they need a man, they're so super emotional, blah, 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 whatever the storyline is, okay? And looking at that, women didn't have the rights to vote. Some women still don't have rights in certain countries. You see what I'm saying? When you're talking about that, when you look at it in comparison to the treatment of Black people, I'm not saying the struggle was the same, okay, at all. But what I am saying is a lot of things that women experienced was that very similar that of Black Americans in this country after Black Americans were brought to this country. Okay, not saying that they're the same. I just want to make sure that I'm clear.
But Sam, I can juxtapose that to Black men compared to white men, right? I can still make that same argument too. Like, no,
because white men always had the right to vote. White men always had these rights. White men have always been at the top of that pole.
What I'm saying is Black men never didn't have all that stuff, right?
Exactly my point. So you can't compare those two. Those two struggles are very different. You see what I'm saying? Right.
And, but a Black woman's struggle is totally different from a white woman's struggle.
When you're talking about Black people were treated as chattel, property, right? Women, period, were treated as property. Black folks didn't have the right to vote. I keep saying white, but it's not white. Women didn't have the right to vote. When you look at a lot of the laws that benefited Black people, Black men benefited from those laws before Black women. So when you're looking at that,
Black women, not all women.
All right, let me jump in.
I just want to say this one point. Other women had the benefits of their men. So, for example, white women did receive benefits from their white husbands.
Malik,
even though they couldn't vote, they still received those benefits. Black women didn't receive any benefits.
But Malik, that's the problem that I'm getting to. You just said other women have been able to reap benefits from that of their men, right? The thing is, why do you need to have? Why are you required to have a man to be able to reap benefits? You shouldn't have. Okay. Hold on, let me finish my sentence.
No, but I think you're missing the point that we're trying to make, which is again, together, two incomes is better than one.
I promise I got you. You shouldn't need to have to rely on somebody else to get the same thing as them. You should be able to get those things, period. Just because you're a person walking around on this earth, okay? Now, whether or not, when you're talking about family, when you're talking about relationship, when you're talking about those types of things, yes, companionship, yes, we need each other in that sense. But when you're talking about growth, opportunity, experience, things like that, you shouldn't have to be dependent upon another person of another gender in order to be able to receive those things, right?
I don't think you are.
A white man can go out and get all of these opportunities without being required to have a white woman or any woman for that matter, okay? So when you're talking about other nationalities and you're talking about men versus women, men don't require a woman the same way society has made it so a woman has to require a man. And in that sense, that's the reason why I'm saying no. If you want to go grow and do what you got to do, Malik, you should be able to go do it. Regardless if you choose to have a
the same thing works for women in this modern day.
But hold on, it's regardless of whether or not you, but it's a choice though. That's why I started this podcast off by saying, I believe that it's a choice. Because regardless of what, if you choose to have a significant other by your side while you're going through whatever it is that you're going through, right? Whether it be to have a higher income, whether it be to have more, whatever it is for you, that's your choice, right? But you should be able to make that choice without feeling like you are required to need another person in order to do it.
But that's my whole point. Every woman does have that choice. We've seen women be successful without a man. You've seen it happen. But everybody, hold on, wait a second. Wait. Oh, damn, you've been going. You've been going. Let me go for a second. You've seen women be successful without a man. Hey, Allah, great example. Gabrielle Union, super successful. Then she chose, with all her success, no man blocked her from buying a house, getting a car, doing a TV show, no man blocked her from that. She did it all on her own. But then she realized, like most people do realize in life, once you get all the things that you chase out of it, you're going to want something that matters a little bit more than just the material things that you think that you want.
Word being
hold on, let me get off. And then once, and that goes for men and women. I think once you really get to a point in life where you realize I have enough of the little things that I thought was going to make me feel accomplished, like I thought was going to make me feel successful, that I thought society would look at me and say that I have arrived or I have become, but I realized that all of those things are okay, but they do not make the same as me contributing into a family and making sacrifices, growing, having to deal with getting to know another person, going through the things that we need to be going through in order for us to build something bigger than ourselves. And that, my friends, is what I want us to understand and should be the messages that should be produced when we talk about Black people and Black empowerment, or just, you know what I'm saying, Black people getting to theirs. And I'm not saying it that to say that, again, that a woman or a man have to have each other, but I'm just simply saying that when we see messaging and things like that, and we see it be at the behooves of another individual, like you can do your thing without even talking about a person. But once you bring their name into the conversation, that's when I start to look at it a little bit.
That's the thing that I'm saying, though, I don't believe that it's programming. I believe that it's deprogramming. That's why I started off asking these questions, because, hold on, let me finish. Because the thing about it is, for years, when you look at commercials for stockings, women had to get up, get dressed, full face makeup, all that, just to stay home and cook dinner and clean up the house for their man. Okay. And that was commercials. Like, they put that out there, like, this is how women are supposed to live. Women couldn't have like regular jobs. Friggin' Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the top of her class when she graduated law school. And at first, all she could get was a job as a secretary. Okay. Yeah, she eventually made it to the Supreme Court, but these are the way that women have been treated throughout life. Yes, she became a very successful woman, but she had to go through hell and fire in order to be able to get it. But if it was a man, her husband wasn't at the top of his class. He was a lawyer, but she eventually surpassed him. The work she had to go through, if he was at the top of his class, he would have not had to have done any of that. You see what I'm saying? And we're talking about two Jewish people, all right? Now, when you're talking about Black folks, it's similar, but it's different because we're already working from a deficit. You see what I'm saying? And so based on everything you said, yes, I agree. But the operative word.
That's a good point you made.
Wait, let me finish.
That's a good point you made right there.
Let me finish, please. Hold on, let me finish. The operative word that you used was want. And that was the thing that I was saying from the beginning. It's about what you want out of life. You see what I'm saying? And so the reason why I look at it as deprogramming is because when you look at all these years of commercials, decades of commercials of women catering to other people, not going out and getting what they want for themselves, suppressing what they want, not being always having to be dependent upon a man. This commercial to me said, all right, you know what? Despite all that, I don't have to do that. It's not to say it's at the behest of a man or to degrade a man, because I do believe most of this relates to perspective, right? Because when she said, I don't need a man for what? To me, that didn't sound like I'm degrading a man. I don't need no man. Forget men. It was, I don't have to wait on a man in order to go get what I want. Like society has been telling us
So
for the
why
last.
throw them in the conversation? If I say,
because they have
Sam,
been,
why? Like we need Sam on the show for what? You're gonna be like, no, you ain't saying don't forget Sam.
It's because they've been a part of the conversation for centuries. So because they've already been a part of the conversation for centuries, you know, you see how in that commercial, the lady was like, oh, and where's your man? That goes just to what I was talking about when I go to the hairdresser or when I go to the nail shop. That very question gets posed all the time. That's not for fake. That's not for the commercial. That's not make-believe. That happens every day. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, a man for what? Why do I? Rihanna even said it. One time she was in an interview. Rihanna's successful as hell. Does she have a boyfriend now? Yeah. But the thing about it is, some commercial, what are you looking for in a man? Rihanna's like, first of all, I don't need a man. So it's not about a man. Like, why can't, you don't see men being asked these same questions in these same interviews? Not like that.
I mean, there's a reason
for
that.
You don't see men being asked these questions. Because
There's
I promise you,
that.
all of the men that I know talk about why are you not in a certain situation.
Wait, let me jump in here real quick. I want to respond to a good point that Sam made about the deficit. She said that, you know, Black people are already operating from a deficit, right? So that makes it even more important for Black people to be together and not independent, because you're already operating from a deficit. So if you're operating from a deficit and you want to catch up, it's in your best interest to be together with a family. You don't have to choose a Black person if you don't want to. You can choose whoever you want. But since you're a Black female and you're already a Black woman, right, a Black person, and you're operating from a deficit, it's a winning strategy for you to have a spouse, right? Everybody knows that.
Let me clarify something real quick.
No, I'm not really finished with my points. I have a couple more points I want to make real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna let you get to them, but real quick, I want to just clarify something.
Yeah, it's just real quick. It's not gonna take long. So it's that point, right? And another point with the feminists, right? If Black feminists, all female feminists have a problem with the current situation, I suggest, like, how about you just build, right? You just build these businesses that you want to promote your feminist agenda. You just build, right? So they say, like, oh, men won't allow us to do this, men won't allow us to do that. In this country, particular in the United States, there's nothing stopping females from building.
That's
right?
not true.
There's obstacles in your way, but you can build. Because as a Black man, there's nobody stopping me from building. Of course, there's going to be uphill battles. Of course, I may have to deal with racism, but at the end of the day, they're not going to literally physically stop me from building.
All right. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Finish. So the thing is.
One more point. Sorry, Sam. One more point. When you said there's different rules, like, okay, yes, there are different rules, but as a society, there's different rules for men too. There's some benefits that women have that men don't get. And there's benefits men get that women don't get. And that's just the name of the game. Everything's not going to be even and equal all the time. There's no such thing as that. We create this, equalities, but there's never going to be full equality. You just try to make things as fair as possible and give everybody opportunity. So I think providing everyone opportunity is better than just saying, hey, everything's equal. Because I don't think everything's ever going to be equal. That's it.
Number one, I want to be clear. In me saying the things that I'm saying, I'm not discouraging unity amongst Black folks at all. I'm not discouraging the unit of Black families. I'm not discouraging any of that. I think that it's necessary in order for our community to thrive. However, my point is that I don't think it's a requirement for success. You see what I'm saying? And that's just on an individual level, an individual basis, okay?
But I think that you have to define success in order to make that statement.
I don't think you have to, because I think
success to you might be something different from somebody else.
The reason why I don't believe that I have to define what success is, because I think that's a subjective answer. That's going to depend on the person.
Exactly.
So defining it.
If it's based off the video, I think you would need another person as a woman, most likely. Not everybody, but more likely than not, you would need another person if you want to live that lifestyle that's portrayed.
I think that just depends, but it depends on what you want at the end of the day, right? If you want to just have your business, and that's that, then that's cool. But you shouldn't have to feel like you need to depend upon anybody else in order to go get it. You see what I'm saying? And as far as, yes, Malik, I agree. As far as the Black family is concerned, in order for us to thrive as a community, we do need to make sure we encourage Black families. But I also don't think that commercial was discouraging it. I believe that it was saying, listen, based on the storyline of Rapunzel, a girl who had to sit in the tower and wait for a man to come save her. She was saying, I'm not waiting for a man to come save me anymore. I'm going to save myself, which is very similar to what happened in the movie Tangled. You see what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, there was something else that one of you guys said, and I forgot what it was, so I just let it go. But at the end of the day, my belief is that, for women, that's what it was. It's not to say that everything has to be equal. I just believe people should be operating from an even playing field as opposed to an equal one. Hold on for a sec. Okay, it may or may not ever happen. But one thing that Black folks in general, we fight for every day is to have work on an even playing field, right? Whether you're talking about systemic racism, whether you're talking about jobs, whether you're talking about finances, and even equal pay. Why is that okay for Black people and not okay for women? You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about
for both, but I just think it's not. I'm gonna let you go ahead, and then I'm.
No, I know what you're saying, E. You're not saying that we shouldn't strive for it. You just don't think it's attainable. I get you.
And it's not even so much that I don't want to, strive for it or work
I agree.
towards it. You know what I mean? It's just that I just think that the way that the structure is set up, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's why I feel like it's a little bit more on us to kind of figure out if we're trying to navigate through it. No, we don't need to be trying to struggle separately.
That structure goes to my building standpoint that I was trying to make. Like, hey, if you don't like the current setup, the structure, you can always build a new one. It's going to be
That's why I think
it's going to be a struggle. But in this country, you actually have the opportunity to do that.
I think we have to start doing it. We have to have these conversations of thinking outside the box a little bit so that we can navigate and figure out a way. Ain't no way we need to all be working 60, 80 hours, traveling an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive to get to work just so we can say we get into a bag and doing some things that we think like, no. We should be able to kick back,
the thing
spend
about all
time
of
with our family, do the things that we want,
that
whatever it is that you may want, you know what I mean?
But all of that starts from the mind, right? And if it all starts from the mind, you start thinking about it in terms of programming. How have we been programmed throughout history? Right? Because remember, there's things that have been happening throughout history that have literally been passed down. Most Black people here in America have a slave mentality and they don't even realize it. Doesn't mean everybody does. Hold on. And I'm not even saying, and when I say that, I don't mean in terms of not being woke, right? I mean in terms of we have unhealthy habits that have been passed down to us throughout generations that we don't even know that we have. You know what I'm saying? Hand gestures. Like if you got to get up in church to go to the bathroom, a lot of times you do this before you do it. Why do people do that? Because back during slavery, when a slave needed to go to the bathroom, he needed to say, hey, I'm asking for permission to go to the bathroom, and my slave master over there needs to give me permission. People don't realize that that's what that was about. You see what I'm saying? Saving grease for the next fish fry or for the next fried chicken on the damn. So that's a fear of not having enough. Black people do it all the time. Why? Because things were hard to come by. There's a lot of things that we do. And when I say a slave mentality, I don't necessarily mean it has to be actually stemming from when the enslaved people were brought over here to this country from Africa. I mean, it's a mind.
But actually, Sam, can I ask you a question as a woman, right? Because he's not a woman, I'm not. But I personally feel like I'll be quick. It's going to take like 20 seconds. I personally feel that feminists are still waiting and dependent upon a man. They want a man to give them rights. They want the man to give them equality. They want the man to give them the benefits. So in a weird way, I still think they're still dependent on the man, but they want the man to give them that permission to say, hey, you can go be an independent. You can go do this. You can go do that. I feel like it's just this whole feminism thing is essentially a trick bag for women, particularly white women, to get benefits, and Black women still remain the same, but fight for the side of these other groups, other women, right? But they still maintain the same. So even with the equal pay, right? The white women get paid more than Black women. The pay is not even equal amongst women. And but they'll still use Black women as a support for their argument, like, this is not fair. Look at these Black women not getting paid right. Look at us compared to you. But it's like they don't even deal with the problem that they're trying to use Black women and other groups to achieve their agenda, which is more benefits with less work, in my humble opinion. What's your thought? Do you think that feminists, like these feminists, are just like essentially still dependent upon men, is what I'm saying?
No, I don't. I think that in general, and let me explain. I think because, you know, let me compare it to something else that I know that you guys would be able to relate to. When you're talking about the civil rights movement, Black people needed white people in order to make laws to give us more opportunity, more equality. I'm not gonna say we're equal because we're not, but you know what I'm saying? To give us more than what we had, right? And we needed white people in order to do that. With women, it's a similar thing. You need men because men have been at the top, especially particularly white men, for so long. I think as history is continuing to move, you have more and more women that are getting in places of power. Like, look, Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. Kamala Harris is the Vice President of the United States. They're women. You see what I'm saying? So no, for the most part, to answer your question. However, when you're looking at certain types of women that are in these places of power, it's not true for all women, but it's definitely true for some, the mindset. You see what I'm saying? And are they those women, are those type of women that believe you need a man, right? It's almost like when you look at the abortion law, right? Typically you would think that all women would say, I don't need another person telling me what I need and need not do with my body. But there are absolutely women out there that are pro-life. You see what I'm saying? And they are totally against abortion. So it's about the mindset. It's about what's going on in the brain. And some of that has to do with programming and the way that women have been raised, the things that they have been taught. And that's why I say some of this stuff is a slave mentality, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? That's an old adage an adage that my father used to say. There's more than one way to skin a cat. We can all get to a destination, and there's 1,000 different routes we can take to get there. The problem is that some people don't believe that getting there, we should go this way or we should go that way, when in actuality is you shouldn't be telling people which direction to go if the destination is the same. Just let people go how they're going and they're going to get there. And I don't have to be, I'm not required to be dependent upon somebody else to help me get there. Eventually, I'm going to get there. The work might be harder. It may take longer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get there. And as it relates to the part of the point that you made as you're posing your question, when you're talking about white women relying on other women, particularly Black women, to get to where they are, despite the fact that they're receiving more, that may be the case, but I think because we're still not at the top. We're still not the ones making those rules and laws, just like Black folks still have to depend on white folks to help us. Women are in the same boat as it relates to that. And that's why I said at some point, our struggles are not the same for women. Women and Black people do not have the same exact struggle, but there are some things that are similar. And that I think is why the women's suffrage movement was able to grow the way that it did on the back of the civil rights movement. And although everybody always gets things before Black people, it doesn't mean that Black people doesn't get anything, you know? And I think that.
Yeah, but I think that's why we need to be a little more centered. I'm
I
sorry.
was about to say, and I think that that's the reason why we need the unity. And that's the reason why I said I'm not trying to discourage growth of the Black family, but growth of the Black community, because we absolutely need that unity so we can grow further and faster, because we absolutely need it. We are in dire straits as a people and as a community. But I do think that that's why I always say we are all people, regardless if you're Black, white, green, purple, or orange. We're all walking around having to share this earth. And we can't do it if we continue to be horrible to one another.
I agree. I do want to make a quick point and then I'll let you go. I really think feminism is starting to look to me like a trick bag because women are the majority in this country. They have the opportunity through the elective democratic process to get elected, but I don't think most women want feminism the way it's presented, right? I don't think they want that. So that's why I say it's a trick bag, because the feminists are trying to trick other women to make it seem like that's what most women want, but most women don't vote that way, or they even encourage other women to do what they're doing. They don't encourage all this feminism stuff all the time. More and more women are getting aboard with the feminism, don't get me wrong, but I don't think majority of women want that. They want the feminism, but they also want the dependence too. They want their cake and they want to eat it too, essentially. So they want it all. They don't want to sacrifice anything. And I think that's why
white men don't either.
Not really successful.
Well, no, white men don't want it. You know what, when we look at I'm not even gonna say the American dream, when we look at the structure of society, the hierarchy, everybody wants the top spot. White men are at the top. They get it all. They get to have all of that, right? As Black people, we understand that. You know what I'm saying? And although neither of you are women, I can tell you as a woman, same thing. And so it's not, that's the reason why I don't think it's a trick bag. I think it is what it is. And I think that you're gonna have people, just like you have Black folks out there who are against. Okay, let me just finish this sentence. You got it. Just like there's Black folks out there going against the Black Lives Matter or Black empowerment movement, and we call them, you know, I'm not gonna say all of us, but they are often called coons in our community. You see what I'm saying? You have the same thing going on in the community of women, you know? Go ahead, E.
I just want to, bring in my closing thoughts on this issue real quick. And one, let everybody know we appreciate y'all checking in. You can catch us on Wednesdays on 8:30 on Instagram on the Counterparts Podcast Live. We'll be doing shows there. We also can catch this show here. It's gonna be on Zoom sometime momentarily today. And we'll let everybody know you can catch me at that guy 2104 on Instagram as well. But my last thoughts that I wanted to leave everybody with too, before I finish speaking for the day, is that I do think that Black women in particular do have a lot of hurdles that they have to go through, and as well as Black men. And it's one of the reasons why I think that we need to be able to have more conversations about how we can coexist within making things work in society, where you can go do your thing and have your dream. And that's one of the reasons why, within doing our research, we look at different ways. And that's one of the reasons why I think so many people talk about opportunities for polygamy and things of that nature, so that you can have a household where all of the kids may be able to be going, but it's not necessarily always possible when you only have two people, and a man need to work and a woman need to work, and then y'all got kids, and you know what I'm saying? So maybe there may need to be someone that may be able to help at the house, and someone else that can do other things. So in order for us to actively be able to do some of these things that we're looking to do, and everybody be able to live their dreams and do everything, you know what I mean? And have the ability to produce and do things, some of these things, we might have to look for alternative ways. And that's something that we can discuss another day. But I just want to bring that into conversation as well and let everybody know. I know we have a couple more people to drop a couple more things here before we get up out of here. But thanks.
Yeah, thank you, E. I appreciate those sentiments. So I have the motivational minute for you guys. I have a quote by Henry Ford. Failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. This quote really spoke to me because I feel like I've experienced a lot of failures in my life, personally, in all areas of activity and missed opportunities. I feel like that I could have gotten, but I've learned my lesson and I've learned to be more intelligently about my decision making, more decisive. So that quote really spoke to me. That's why I wanted to present it to you guys today on this Sunday. So that's why I did that. One more thing I want to share with you guys is the Black business one more time here. Pull that up for you guys. So this is Jamba Kohli. This is her law firm. She's a business attorney. She practices business law. She deals with copyrights, contracts, employment law a little bit, and intellectual property. So if you want to meet her, go to jambakohlilaw.com. And thank you guys for that.
Yeah, everybody. You guys want to drop his? He already dropped his socials.
Oh yeah. Let me drop my socials for you guys. You guys can all follow me at Malik M. Foster on all social media handles to keep it easy for you guys. Thanks for listening to us. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. If you want us to talk about a different topic, let us know. Drop us an inbox. You can write a comment, DM us, whatever you need to do, and we'll get back to you.
Yep. So guys, thank you so much for tapping in. We definitely had a spirited debate. I know I did a whole lot of talking, but I had to hold it down for the ladies. And so, because it's 2 against 1 today. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Not too bad there.
Nah, no, you know I can hold my own. So otherwise, y'all, we would not be a group if I couldn't hold my own. So yeah, you guys, thank you again for tapping in. We really appreciate it. We love y'all. Please make sure you follow us on Instagram at Counterpoise Pod, on our Counterpoise podcast page. I can't talk. And also make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, right here on Facebook at our Counterpoise podcast. We have a page and a person. So make sure you go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and follow. Again, to echo Everett's sentiments, make sure you also check us out on our YouTube page, where this podcast will be posted up today. And make sure you tap in with us every Sunday at 11:30, 12 o'clock-ish for our Counterpoise podcast. But we are here every week. We might be early, we might be late, but we here. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, because we do this for you guys. We love y'all. And also, too, make sure you tap in for our What's Up Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 8:30 on IG Live. You can follow me if you want to at Samantha Renee 77_ESQ on IG, or right here on Facebook at Samantha Adams-ESQ. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Guys, one other thing. If you ever have a topic that you want to hear us talk about, please feel free to let us know. You can put it in our comment section. You can DM us. You can email us, all that good stuff. All right. So thanks for tapping in with us, guys. We're going to go ahead and bring it home.